This is how the Earth looked at the end of the last ice age. The northern hemisphere covered in ice. Europe barely recognizable. But evidence suggests the world map is about to be redrawn by a mega flood of biblical proportions. Oceanographer Simon Boxall is fascinated by the idea of a planet-changing flood and has nominated it for the top 10. This disaster begins around 10,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age. A huge glacier covering an area we now know as Canada is receding. As it melts, a vast freshwater lake bigger than Texas forms. For a time, the water is contained behind a wall of ice. But 8,500 years ago, this ice gives way, releasing this colossal body of water into the world's oceans.
This had a dramatic impact on the already rising sea levels, adding a further 1 to 2 meters, 3 to 6 feet, in a very short period of time. And if that was to happen today with the same speed, it would completely devastate London, New York. In fact, it would impact on every coastal nation around the world.
And in the ancient world, the rising waters spreading across the planet could have also led to disaster. Because according to some studies, the area now covered by the Black Sea was once home to one of the largest populations of the time.
9,000 years ago, this would have been an enormous valley leading down to this huge freshwater lake. It would have been filled with settlements, farmlands, a population of over 100,000 people. But that all changed when the floodwaters hit.
Swollen by the mega flood, water from the Mediterranean begins to pour into the region, transforming the once fertile land into a saltwater sea. Simon Boxall meets Konstantin Cherev, who in 2011 took part in a survey of the Black Sea that produced an astonishing find.
When we scanned the seabed, we found a formation that's really unusual. It was sort of a round hill, and that's not very common for the Black Sea. So we decided to send a probe and take a sample of it.
As they carefully inspected the core sample, the scientists made an unexpected discovery. Tiny pieces of wood.
When we analyzed the wood and carbon dated it, we found that it's 9,000 years old, and that's amazing.
Where do you think it came from?
The most exciting scenario is that this underwater hill is actually an ancient human settlement, because as a shape and size and height, it exactly matches the settlements on the ground we found all over Eastern Europe.
Cherev is certain an area that's now under 90 meters of water was once dry land.
Absolutely. I'm 100% positive about it.
To find out more about the people that were living in the region hit by the flood, Simon Boxall has been given rare access to examine an incredible archaeological find. Unearthed from a nearby burial site dating back over 6,000 years were over 200 skeletons, along with a spectacular treasure trove of gold.